Hey everyone, this is Karen with Over the Artsy Moon, and I'm going to be painting a little bit of an Easter project today. And I've already gone ahead and painted the wood to look like, wood, which sounds a little goofy, right? But I just wanted to say hi and tell everybody to say hi when you see this here. And I've got this Easter egg hunt stencil. This is from Essential Stencil, and this is the set that it comes with right here. Okay, so you get the Happy Easter. I was tempted to do this chocolate bunnies and jelly beans one. That looked cute, but I thought I would do this and then add some grasses and some other stuff. So when I'm using my stencil brush, you're going to take some on your stencil brush, whatever kind you have, and really get the bristles saturated. And then you go next to it and you offload a little bit. So you don't want a ton of paint on there. And all I'm going to do is start by going over these letters first. I'm not going to do the eggs just yet. And we'll come back to those when we're ready for them on the ground. So we're going to do this a little differently than what you see here. And let me just go ahead and get a little more paint on my brush. It's hard to believe we're already thinking about spring break and Easter and all of that fun stuff. And the reason we don't put a ton of paint onto our brushes when we're doing this is because we don't want it to get under. I've got a little more than usual, so hopefully I didn't have an issue. And I like to push a little bit firmly, but not super firmly, because I don't want it to go under the stencil and then bleed. They call it when you get a little bit of extra. So we'll get some more on here. I might go over these letters a little later with some more white paint, but we'll just see once we do the bottom part how it turns out and what we need as far as colors or anything like that. So I might just go ahead and leave this. I can always do a second coat later, but it probably needs to dry a little bit. Okay, so we have Easter egg hunt. And I'm just going to set this down here. I'll get my baby wipe. That's my thing I do. I like to just clean it right away. So I'll just take my baby wipe and I just go over those letters super fast. It only takes about 30 seconds. Sorry for the bumpy table here. But see, look at it. It's already clean, right? And ready to go. Well, mostly clean. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and just set this brush inside. I don't want to have to get another one if I don't have to. So I'll put it inside that baby wipe and just wrap it up so it stays moist. If you let your brushes get, if you let the paint dry on them, that's when you start having issues. So you don't want to do that with your acrylic painting brushes. For watercolor, it's a little different. You can kind of get away with that. All right, I'm going to make some bigger grasses with this brush. This is number 18. It's pretty big. I don't usually use one this big, so I'll just get it wet and dry it a little bit on my towel. And then I'm going to make some grass strokes coming up from the bottom. Now, if it's uncomfortable for you to go up like this, then you could always turn your wood around. And anybody who's popping on, I am just doing an Easter egg hunt canvas, or not, this is not canvas, sorry, wooden display sign. And I'm going to mix some black with this dark green. And I'm just going to start at the bottom here and just do some flicks up with my paintbrush. And you want to keep that pretty saturated as far as the amount of paint on here. So if you feel like you're putting this on but there's not much showing, then you want to make sure you go back and get some more. So is anybody else kind of thinking about Easter yet? Or are you still thinking about St. Patrick's Day tomorrow? I don't know when you're watching, but right now it's still March, but it's nice to kind of plan ahead. And this is an easy way to do something kind of fun and whimsical. And so I'm going to be layering this grass, and I'm going to have some of these grass blades come up. And I'm showing a lot of black here, but that's okay. It's going to kind of disappear into the background once we add our other layers. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and do this all the way across. And see how I'm not being super careful here? I'm just adding it. And if you're seeing this for the first time, say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. And if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and type in replay. It just helps me to know that people are interested in what I'm painting. And this brush is so big that I'm getting some fatter blades of grass as I'm pushing harder, but you don't have to do that. Now, I am going to just come in here with this same brush and pull this color down at the bottom so it's going to be more solid. You can also flick it the other way too. Hello, Salema. It's nice to hear from you. And you're from Michigan. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm in Illinois, so we're kind of neighbors. Well, not exactly, but I feel like I go to Michigan a lot. My aunt and uncle live across the border in Canada, and I like to go to Lake Michigan when I travel in the summer. Go up there and just enjoy it. It's so nice and clean and beautiful. So, all right, that's our first layer, and it's not very seasonal looking yet, but we will get there. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and just dry this off a little bit, and then I'm going to wash this brush while I'm going to. And some of these blades, I might add a few taller stems so we can just have some sort of like grasses with flowers on them too. So that might be something that's fun to do, just to give it a little more interest in this whole area up here and here. And we want to fill that in a little bit. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so I will take this green here, that dark green, and I'm going to also take some of that lighter green. This one is called, what is that? Lime green, and then the dark green is called hunter green. I'm just going to come up and see how I wasn't really thinking about it. I'm just going to put my brush here and I'm going to just let go. All right, I might need to make that one a little longer. So I'm going to come up and then, whoops, I knocked over my paint. And just do a few more longer ones. And I'm just pressing very lightly. I'm not pushing too hard. I'm just going to make some longer ones with this lime green. You can have some overlapping. You could have some going off to the side a little bit. It's really fun to play. Oh, so you're 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. Oh, I'm so happy for you that you get that lovely experience. It's so nice. I love going to St. Joseph, and where else do I love to go? Anywhere, honestly. Anywhere in that area. But of course, you know, there's areas of Lake Michigan that I haven't been to. And it's so nice to see. All right, now I'm going to come back up higher. I didn't quite start from the bottom, but it really doesn't matter as long as you get that height here. So we're going to come up, and I'm going to do one more over here. Whoops, that one is a little goofy. I think I'll keep that one shorter, and then think about maybe this one will get a little taller here. All right, there we go. And let's see, maybe this one I'll make a little darker. I think that wood is pulling in that color, so it's getting quickly absorbed into the wood. So that's just something to be aware of with wood. It does tend to absorb your colors a little bit. So that's why it's looking a little like the colors are fading after it a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to dip back into both of those again and just do some more grasses down here, a little shorter. So we'll see how this goes. I haven't tried this one yet, but it seemed like an easy enough idea. And I love experimenting. You can usually figure out something to make it work. If you ever do want to buy the stencils, I am one of the affiliates for Essential Stencils, so I do get some coffee money, but if you use my code, that is. But no obligation, but feel free to use that if you are you're deciding to try this out once you see the whole thing. They have beautiful stencils. They're really a good quality, and they're really nice to use. You can wash them off and reuse them over and over and over again. Okay, so that's looking interesting, right? And we'll let this go ahead and dry a little bit. We're going to put some Easter eggs down here, but I do think I'm going to pull these up a little bit. So I'm going to get more paint on my brush and just pick a few to go over. Oops, that one's very big. Oh, well, that's actually okay. I think I like that being so tall. So sometimes you make these little accidents and you're not sure how they're going to work out, but then they turn out. So has anybody else ever found that you're painting and you try something and you don't think you're going to like it, but then it actually looks good? And see what happened here? I grabbed a little bit of blue by accident, this little aqua color, and look how lovely that is. Ooh, I like that. What do you guys think? Do you like that aqua color in there? I think it looks kind of pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And I'm going to pull some of these up a little higher. And you see that dark color at the base that we put in earlier is helping to give it some depth and some interest. So that's the cool thing. You can just layer your acrylic paint and you end up with such lovely results. The more you layer, the more interesting it is. That's what I think anyway. So I really love acrylics, and I ended up pretty light over here, so I think I will add a little bit of more of that over on this side just to kind of balance it out. Okay, so pretty color. I just love these pastel colors. They make me happy. Makes me think that spring is coming finally, right? So that's a good thing about it. All right, so if you have done any painting for spring, go ahead and let me know in the comments. What did you paint? Did you paint flowers? Did you paint bunnies? I know in my membership I have a few spring items in there, and well, actually more, I think. But I did a little bunny, and it was so cute. And a lot of people have been painting it at their paint parties, so I'm excited to see their success. Now, this one right here, I'm going to just pull a little bit and make it a little fatter. And maybe I'm going to add a little white to this just to widen it out and make it stand out a little more. Okay, so I'll do the same with those tall ones just so I know they're not going to disappear. And if you kind of lose it, you don't get a solid line. This is nature, so it doesn't have to look perfect. And that's the beautiful thing with painting things that are in the wild, right? Plants and animals. I think I'll pull this one up a little bit too. I don't want it to be matchy, so there we go. There's one there, and I'll make this one a little taller. I know I have one there too, but we'll make that guy a little bit in the background. All right, and then let's do a few of those whiter, the white highlights here. So just find a few bigger ones. You can add a few highlights, and I'm just pushing as I go down, like so. For me, painting is all about just having fun and relaxing and not being stressed out. And that's what I would always tell my students. Hey, you know, just because it looks pretty doesn't mean it has to be hard to do. It can be something that's simple, but you get such satisfaction out of it and a lot of enjoyment. And I like how the white is pulling, the white down here is kind of helping us to balance this out here. So that's what I am just going to do a few more. And then I think I'm going to have to let this dry a little bit so that we can add some Easter eggs down in here. I know the sign says it's this way, but they're being really sneaky with their Easter egg. Hi, Erin. It's so nice to see you. They're being sneaky where they're placing these Easter eggs. So maybe the sign should be pointing down, but you know, I'm trying it. I'm seeing what's going to happen here. I haven't tried this. If you're just coming on, I haven't tried this. So this is all a big experiment, but why not, right? How bad can it be? All right, so let me see if I can dry this off a little bit. And we're going to go back into our Easter sign. Well, no, let's wait a little bit with that. Don't you love it when a plan has not been thought of and you're figuring it out on the spot? So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I think actually I will dry this off a little bit, and then we're using the stencil. We used it for Easter egg hunt. I'm going to put some of these eggs down here in the grasses. And then we're going to have to pull some grass over top of the eggs that we do, just so it'll look like they belong there. If you just plop them down, we can try it and see. But I think we're going to need to put some grasses around them. So let's see. Where do I have it dry? This is pretty dry right here. So I'm going to just start with the white. Now, what did I do? Remember, I wrapped up my brush, my stencil brush here, and then I'm going to go back to my white and offload next to it. And then I'm going to just add those bunches of Easter eggs. So here's one set right here. And since I'm doing the white first, it's going to allow me to add the color in with just the paintbrush. Or I could go over this again with just the color, but I think having the white and then adding a color there will help make it a little bit more interesting too. All right, so then let's go. These are both going this direction, so I'm going to flip this over actually and have some going the other direction. So let's put some over here, more paint. Okay, here we go. It looks like I picked up a little bit of black, but it's mostly white, I think. Let me get some more clean stuff. I'm sorry for my table shaking a little bit. Who's painting with me? Anybody? Well, of course you're not painting with me, but are you painting anything interesting on your own? What are you painting at home? Let me know. I would love to hear what everybody's painting. And you know what? You can also tap it like this. This is another way to do it. Especially since there's paint under there, it shouldn't bleed. But you can also do that method that I usually prefer, where I don't have too much paint on my brush, but there's times when you want to use this tapping method too. Okay, so there we go. We've got more eggs. Maybe we'll have the next set kind of coming down off of the paper, or the brown. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Maybe it's coming off of the wood. That's what it's called. It's called wood. Don't you love that? Anybody else sleepy? Oh, maybe the paint is coming off of the actual what we actually painted earlier. So this method right now, this tapping, will help you not to pull up any paint that might still be wet. So I'll just do this tapping. Have you stenciled before? Anybody who's watching with me? This is actually very easy to do, and you can get so many nice results. So I would encourage anybody to try it out and see what happens. All right, and then I will do, let's see, let's put this one, kind of with these eggs like this. So I'm going to rest it like that, get more paint. Okay, and then I will do some more tapping over here. And even if the paint is slightly wet, it'll still work out. This might be picking up some of that light green, but I can paint over it. All right. It's kind of satisfying because you can get a nice little piece coming together in a very short time. We're going to work some more on these eggs. So yeah, you can see I pulled off. Even though I tried to dry it off a little bit, it wasn't quite there. And then we'll add, let's do this one. We'll kind of put these like this. And then I think that's going to be enough eggs. Yeah, this is pretty wet over here, but I think it'll still work. All right, so I'm getting some paint and I'm just going to tap this on. You could, if you have a very clean aesthetic for your decorating, you could just leave these as white, but I'm all about color and I kind of love adding the color into my artwork. So I'm going to add some more color to this, but I'm going to wrap this up again so it doesn't dry out. And we're going to add some flowers up here. What kind of flowers do you think I should add? Any color preferences? I might just keep it with the colors that I have here, but we're going to add those eggs, give those eggs some color. And let me just clean these off real quick. It's hard to clean them later, so that's why I usually take like 60 seconds to get most of the paint off, and then I'm pretty good to go. I'm sorry for the bumping. Okay, here we go. That's good. And then I'll take, I got a few brushes here. I'm going to take a smaller round brush, get that wet, and then I can just add a few colors in here. So maybe I'll do some hot pink polka dots, and I'll just do part of the dot. Okay, so you don't even have to fill in the whole thing. Just put a little color in there. Like I said, you could put the stencil back down and then go over the color with this other color, but we might mix it up. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do them all in hot pink. Maybe I'll go back and paint over a few of those. What colors do you think, guys? You have a preference? All right, and might as well do a few stripes. So I'm just going to do stripe, 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 and just do a few things. Maybe we'll add a little hot pink for this. Some of these polka dots here. That's quite a pretty color, don't you think? I think I need more hot pink in my wardrobe. So I have all like turquoise colors, and that's my favorite is aqua and turquoise. But this is fun to have some other Eastery colors. Okay, I'll just do a few little lines here. Okay, and I will have to fill them in the background a little bit, but we'll get some of these colors in first. And this could take you hours if you were going to be super picky about it, but we'll just keep it simple. And I'm going to move to the light pink, and here I'm going to fill in, maybe that's too much of the same color. Let's do the background of this one. We'll leave those white and we'll fill in with the pink here. Hey Marta, how are you? Nice to hear from you. Yeah, I'm just doing a little essential stenciling and having fun with some grasses. I'm going to add some flowers up here, but this is like a super easy way to do a little spring decor for the upcoming Easter holiday. So nice to have a little decoration in your home, right? And I don't do a ton of decorating. I don't know, I've always been so busy like with school and stuff, and maybe this is the year though I'm going to do more decorating. Do any of you guys like to decorate? Marta, thank you for saying it looks beautiful. You can do so much with just a few colors, right? And that's like that easy paint stroke that makes it so fun to just layer the colors. We did black first, and then we went to the dark green, and then the lime green, and then we added aqua and white, and then you get so much depth just from adding a few colors here and there. So I could probably, paint this, take a lot of time with this. I'll do some more though and see how long this is going to take. So now I do want to cover up the grass that's behind. So I could do a bunch of stripes. Maybe I'll do every other one with this light pink. And I'll just go across and just start filling in some of these areas. So you could leave the white from before, the way it was, and then just fill in with your other colors, your other pastels. So these are the ones that I picked. No, this is actually wood. This is wood. I painted wood to look like wood. It sounds so funny, right? I'll do some of these with this light pink, and then we'll add another color maybe in here. All right, so I'll add this light pink over here. And I think I'm going to have to come back and touch it up, but you'll get the idea. And it's kind of fun just to have something a little festive like this. All right. Because I think it's a little see-through. It's not quite opaque enough, but maybe I'll just put a little more paint on there and see how it's going. So yeah, tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day, and always fun to wear the green, right? This one, let's do a little pink in here. What colors do you think I should do for my my lettering? Do you think I should leave it white? I was thinking I'd do every other one like an Easter color. Any ideas? Who's got an idea for me? What should I do for those letters? Should I paint them, just leave them white, or do you think I should add something else? All right, I'm going to just leave this. I usually don't wash my brush unless it's a completely different color, but I'll add a little purple to this one. I'm going to fill in that one stripe here. Okay, so I'm not taking too much time with this, but you're going to get the idea. Okay, and then we can add purple here. Yeah, this can be, you could put it on like a piano or a bookcase maybe, depending on what you have available at your house. Just to display it, or you could hang it up with those 3M strips. I don't know if you do use those, but those work so great. Okay, and a little purple. Maybe this one will be having the purple background. Now, it probably would have been easier to stencil this, fill it in with the color, and then come back with another color on top. Right? Who thinks that would have been a better idea? So Lori is saying, oh, thank you, Marta. The wood looks great. That's why I was asking if it was canvas. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Lori's saying the bottom part of the letters are a different color. Oh, I love that. That sounds very dreamy. Very nice. Love that idea. Okay. Yeah, I think I probably could have done it differently with this. But, you know, it's fun hanging out with you guys and doing a little painting. So there's so many ways you could do it, right? I loved when I was doing printmaking in school. I took, when I decided to go back and become an art teacher, I took a bunch of online classes because I was teaching all day, and then I was like, I don't want to go and take classes at night. What can I do online? And I found a university that would let me do studio classes that related to education. And so it was a lot of techniques about how to do printmaking. For that one particular one, I did a watercolor class. So many fun ones, right? And I loved the printmaking. That one was one of my favorites. And I did too much. Oh well, I'll just do a little more here and a little more there. We have a striped one. All right, and we'll just keep on going, okay? Maybe I'll go into this blue. I'm not going to wash my brush, but I'll just add a little bit of blue to these polka dots. And I love, my favorite, of course, that I realized then was that my acrylic. I love acrylic painting. So that was totally my favorite. You know, this is going to drive me crazy, these little polka dots that aren't perfect. I shouldn't point them out. Okay, don't look at them. But that's okay. I'll come back and you know what? I'm going to make this all glam and beautiful, and then I'll take a picture of it and post it, okay? And then you guys will be like, well, yeah, okay. But now we're starting to see the colors of the Easter egg. So maybe I won't finish everything, but I am going to go into the black here and just put a little bit of black under here to make it look like there's a shadow coming from these Easter eggs. Just a little bit. I don't want to cover up everything, but we want to have this make sense to our eye. So it might be rusty. I'm going to add a little dark green too. I'll just add a little bit there, and we'll pull this up a little bit just so it's there. And I'm going to pull it slightly in front here too. Okay, so I'll do a little bit, just tiny little strokes here, tiny little strokes here. And like I said, I didn't finish with these Easter eggs, but I feel like you get the idea, and I'll post a picture of it later. But see, look what I'm doing. I'm pulling these grasses in front, and I could also go to a slightly lighter green. I could go to this lime green and pull these in front too. But I want to have like a little bit of darker color under here just so it makes sense. Okay? But you can kind of see here. Okay, so Marta's saying probably the words egg hunt in hot pink. Ooh, I like that one. That would be very pretty. And Wendy says, how cute is this? Hey, Wendy. I used to work with Wendy, and she has the best smile and the best heart. She just would light up a room. So nice to see you. I mean, I could say that about everyone on here, but I haven't talked to Wendy in a long time. So I would just keep on doing this where I'm pulling in front, but I feel like I'm cheating you guys if I leave you now. So maybe I should just keep on going with this. So if you need to do something else, go ahead, but hang out with me if you want. I would love that. That would be wonderful. But if you have to go, you kind of get the idea. Hey, yes. Oh my goodness. So I think, let me show you one. I'm going to show you one with that idea I had where we have the background all painted in. So we could do this over a little bit. Sometimes I don't think of things until later, but I'm going to show you how easy it would be to do it a little differently than what I did. So I've got this shape, right? And I'm going to paint this in with this hot pink. And then I'm going to line up the stencil right on top of it. Wendy says, miss working with you. Helping in the art room was so much fun. Yeah, you were amazing. And it was great to have you in there. And that's such a you know, if I hadn't gotten into painting and taking classes, I really would not have realized how much I love painting. And that's kind of why I started my membership, because I realized how much I love painting and I love sharing that joy of painting with others. So it's makes me happy that I've gotten to meet so many nice people over the years and gotten to share, you know, just my love of art with them. And Wendy was always so great with the kids. She had her favorites, but they were usually the kids who needed a little extra, and that's just a beautiful thing, you know? So, you know, I'm just like talking and not really paying attention. Okay, let me show you with this one so you know what I'm talking about. I feel like this live is a little bit of a hot mess. Marta, she says, and you are a wonderful painting teacher too. Yeah, well, it would have been better if I had an actual plan here before I started. So this is me coming on and just being me, guys. This is me. So love it or lose it. Thanks for being here. Okay. Is it dry? Yeah, it's dry enough. So see, okay, this is the smart way to do it. You put the color, you do the stencil, put the color down, and then we can just go over top. All right, and I'm going to just do white because I've got so much color going on now that I think I'm going crazy with it. All right, back into the white. Put it on your brush. Give it a little zhuzhing, and then we can just tap it on, okay? I'll just tap, 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 tap. And it's going to look nice because when I'm doing something in a hurry like this and I'm just painting fast, unless it's like grasses, I can go crazy with those grasses and go all over the place. But if I'm trying to make perfect little polka dots, they're not going to be perfect. That's just not my style. Right? Ah, look at how nice it looks. It's so much nicer. Am I right? Marta, it is all about the process. Absolutely. Okay, that looks pretty to me. Not so much. So, guess what? Now I'm going to have to go and do this one too. And that one. So, all right. Let's just do this because otherwise it's going to drive me crazy. Let's do this one in the light blue. Okay. See, you can change your mind with painting. Doesn't that make you much happier to see this? Oh my gosh, I love it. When you do, when you're in my membership, it's a little different because I have everything pre-recorded. You do get to see my goofy side once in a while in my videos, but mostly I am just getting everything organized and it's ready for you so you can just go ahead and start painting. So I don't waste your time. At least I try not to. I try to get everything organized and I practice these paintings and I try to get the best timing possible so that you can just do it the easiest way and the most efficient way possible. So there we go. Any other ones I should do? I feel like some of these are kind of ugly, but what do you guys think? I think a little Easter bunny should be hiding behind that grass. Okay, Wendy. That would be so cute. And then she's saying, how about a little sparkle on those eggs? Yes, that would be very pretty. Very, very pretty. Yeah, I got to fill in a few little areas still that I missed while I was talking to you guys. Anybody have one of these things? This is like, mine is starting to go, and I'm not sure why, because I haven't had it that long. I've had it about a year. I love it because I can talk to you guys, and I'm still, it's still not so loud. So I'm wrapping this up every time I'm done with the stencil brush. And that way it's not going to get, oh, I forgot the one part, right? I need to stencil over top. All right. So let's go here and let me get some white on my brush first, just so I have that. And then I can go ahead. I could do a different color over the pink. What do you guys think? Should I do purple over that pink? What do you think? What do you think over the pink? Let me know. She's like, oh yeah, I know you can. Yes, well, if I had planned it out ahead of time, maybe I could have planned for the bunny. Maybe we can do that another time. Okay. Maybe just white. What do you think? I think it's a little light. Purple? Okay, purple. All right. Yeah, I'll get a new brush later, but I can definitely do the purple. I'm going to make it a little lighter. Okay, so I'm just getting a little lighter, but it's still definitely purple. So I just added white to my purple there. And then let's go ahead and put this on top. Let's see, line it up. There we go, right there. Some people tape down their stencils. I don't usually do it unless it's a really complicated one. I did a flag, like a tattered US flag, and that one I kind of had to have it taped down just because it was so complicated. All right, I want to get this purple off real quick, and I'll get most of it off, and then I can finish getting it off later. See? Voila. All right, let me get this guy in here. So I'm going to just get that wet because I'm probably not going to use purple right away with that stencil brush. Fortunately, I have a lot of stencil brushes, so it's all good. All right, so let me see. Anything else? What else do you guys think? We're talking about those letters and what colors I should do for those. All right, I'm going to just add a little bit of pink in here for this one. Let's see. Like I said, this was probably not going to cover up 100% because it's not that the grass layers underneath are pretty dense and heavy. But I'm just going to add a few little highlights in here, make these eggs come more alive. I've got just a little purple with a little white in there. And if you just go along the curve of something, it just gives you more of that idea of being more realistic, even though these are clearly not realistic eggs, okay? And remind me, we're going to come back in front of those and give them a little some of the grasses. So I'm not going to actually worry about too much about getting these perfect. I'm just going to fill this in and not worry about those polka dots there. Okay, Easter in that hot pink light. Marta said, an arrow is bright yellow. Oh, yeah, maybe we should add some yellow in here. What do you guys think? Do you think we should add some yellow into these eggs? Because I usually like to keep the colors going. If I've got yellow up here, I want to have yellow in here somewhere. So maybe I'll add a little yellow. All right, let me find something pretty. This one's nice. This is just a daffodil yellow. That seems appropriate, right? So I'll get a little of the yellow in there. Rinse off my brush, and then I'm going to put some yellow in maybe over here. I don't like that hot pink, or that light pink with this, so we're going to go all crazy here with our colors. Okay, and I might add a little bit of this yellow into the grass too. Actually, no, I got a better idea. I'm going to add some little yellow flowers, right? Wouldn't that be nice? What do you think? Some yellow flowers? That should do it. That should connect everything. All right, so what are we doing? What did we say? We're going to do, what did Marta say? She said do the Easter in Oh, in yellow polka dots. Yes. Okay, that would be cute. I don't know. I could just keep on going here. But you know what? I'm going to show you how to make these little flowers. So I got this or little flowers on the grass, okay? This is a tinier little round brush, and all you have to do is just dot dot dot. Okay? So you can just come on both sides like this. And if they don't seem like they're close enough, you can just go back in and add a few more. Okay? So you can just, if they're not connected, it's just giving you the idea of some whimsy and some fun. Okay, so I think it would look pretty with a little white in there too. Let me grab some white, maybe a little bigger too. So let me go back here. I'm going to add some white to that and just come back over and make, I'm going to push a little harder on some of these. So some will be bigger, but some will be lighter. And then I'm also going to have them come up a little bit higher. Okay, what do you think? Pretty, right? Ooh, kind of dreamy. Looking good. Okay, so we got some yellow, we got some white, and I'm pressing a little more firmly. And if it's kind of giving me ovals, so that's okay, right? If it starts to run out though, that's when you want to go back and reload your brush. I've got lots of paint on here though. So this one wants to go this way. There we go. And I'll do that with my others. So white, yellow, I have a whole bunch on here. This might bother some people, but doesn't bother me. So I'm going to just keep on rotating my brush. So rotating it slightly so I can keep on getting slightly different shapes coming here. All right, and maybe I'll just make this a little fatter here. So this one's a big one, but I think it's okay. All right. And this, I don't like this color. I'm going to come back with some white over top of it. It's still going to have the yellow, but it doesn't match it to me. It doesn't match like the feeling I'm getting from the others. So that was a little too bright for me. So I'm just going to come with that light, and I'm also going to cover this up a little bit. Okay. I did some wild, crazy coloring or painting here, but that's okay. But I want to just mute that yellow a little bit. Ah, whimsy. Yes, whimsy, whimsy. Okay. I love flowers. They're so much fun, right? And you can just keep on repeating this process. Okay, maybe a few more in there. So it's always a little wider at the base and or the bottom of that clump of yellow, and then it tapers off into a skinnier top. And yes, whimsical, for sure, whimsical. Okay, there's a little one there. And I'll make this one. Oops, my head's out of the screen. That's okay. All right. Oh, maybe a little wider down here. And let's do this one too. So this one is really close to the other one. I'm just gonna, my brush, I have so much paint on there, so that's why I'm getting these weirdo shapes, but that's not a problem. I'll just make it part of my art, right? And that's the fun part, is you just try it out and see what's happening. And then you can look back and see where you might want to do a little more or whatever and go back. So I can do a few little, pick some little ones here to kind of do. And so this was fun, actually, kind of just playing with it. I wasn't sure what I was going to end up with, honestly, but I'm getting some good ideas. And after I finish this, then I'll know for sure what I want to do up here with these letters. So right now I do have like a lot of color here, but there's not much here. So I'm probably going to want to definitely pull that into the top part of the painting, just for unity, just to keep it balanced and harmonious. Okay, yes, okay. Maybe, let's see. I'll do one little one here, make some shorter ones. And now I don't really see where that's coming from, but that's okay. I'm just going to do that right in here. What do you guys think of the flowers? Do you like them? Do they seem hard to or easy? They're easy. Trust me. Okay. Easy, easy. I'm doing a paint night at my school and next week. And I had the painting I did on display for the kids to see, and like, it looks so hard. I'm like, that's the thing. I do a painting so it looks pretty, but really it's just a matter of following a few directions, and that's the way my paint parties are going too. You just can follow the directions and it's going to work out in the end, okay? So that's why I try to reassure people that whether you're painting in person or online with me, I try to make it simple, but it's usually going to end up kind of pretty. All right, so I definitely think we need some yellow up here. So I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow up here into the Easter part. Okay, so I'm going to go to the top of each of these. Oops, a little bit too far. I wonder if I should stencil that. Probably be easier for me to do the stenciling on it, and then I don't have to worry about staining the lines, because if you didn't know yet, I'm not oh, you know what, while that is, let's do the bottom part. I forgot to come back over. So let me grab this smaller brush again. I'm going to clean it off real quick, and then I'm going to go to the green here and the white, and we're just going to pull some in front of these Easter eggs. Okay, so not too much. We don't want to cover up everything. I'll get some of the darker too. So I'm going to go in between the lime green and the white. And I'm just pulling up a little bit. And then I'm going to go to the dark green and do a little more. And then hopefully it looks like they're resting on the ground instead of just floating in the air. That makes sense to everybody? Hopefully. Okay, my green is already getting a little dry here, so this one is resting already, but I'll add a few little strokes here and there just to give it the idea. Aw, thank you, Indu. That is so sweet of you. Okay, thanks, Wendy, for letting me know. And let's see where we at. I'll keep on going. I'll do a little bit more here. Just a little Easter fun, and we're just going to cover up a little bit so that these Easter eggs don't look like they're floating in the sky. Although that would be pretty cool. Somebody needs to invent something like that. All right, this one, maybe I put it too high. We'll see how this turns out. Sometimes you try things and you're not sure, but there we go. I think that's all right. I'll add a little darker green in there too. I might have to wait till it dries, but I'm usually a little impatient, so let's see if we can make this work. I think that's okay. There we go, right? A little coverage here, and I think we're okay. All right, so thanks for, oh, Marta, thank you so much. I get some slap happiness here. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, and our floating eggs will soon not floating anymore. They will have some stability. And I'm going to add a little more of this over here. Oops, I grabbed some yellow. Happy accident, right? A little more yellow, maybe. Let's see. Ooh, loving that. Don't you love it when you just experiment? And it's so much fun to see what you come up with. So have fun with it. And if you try something like this, let me know. I'm adding a little more yellow over here, a little bit over here. I'm mostly going with that green. You could take a little more time than I'm taking. I'm doing this kind of fast, so it may not be the neatest, but honestly, if I didn't tell you that, you probably wouldn't even think that there might be a problem. Okay, and then I love this aqua, so I'm going to go back and add a few of those little aqua stems right in front too, and I picked up some purple. No worries. Okay, and if you've got colors on there from before that are not dry, you will be getting some blending happening. Yeah, but it's all good. Okay, and then I'm going to come up and do those letters in a second. Let's just see where we might need. I might go ahead and just paint this one the blue to have a little more contrast. And there we go. I don't know if that's better or worse, but it's okay. All right. So let's go ahead and dry this real quick so I don't smear it when we do the lettering. Okay, everybody, last call. Go ahead and put your vote in for the letters, what color I should do. Just ignore the yellow. We don't have to do the yellow, but I do kind of want to have yellow out there so it'll pull in the yellow from the flowers. So yeah, we have to have yellow. But you can help me. Do you think it would look better with the hot pink at the bottom of for the Easter egg hunt part? For the egg hunt, I should say. Or do you think it would look better with like purple or the blue? What do you think? All right, so I'm going to start with that. Let's go ahead. Let's see, pretty dry. Yeah, that dried pretty well. Despite my my blow dryer not working great these days. Okay. I think that's lined up. You can also do something called offsetting where you just go slightly over and down or up. What do I want to do? I think I'll just put it very, very slightly over. I'm going to leave the bunny alone. I think he looks cute with the white. But I'll just put it very slightly over so we'll still see a little bit of the white. Okay, right there. All right. Grabbing another clean stencil brush. And I'm going to get the yellow on my brush, but I need some clean. And I'm going to mix it up with that green. Don't you love my palette here? It's looking really bad. All right, purple with yellow. No, we're not going crazy with this. We're going to keep it clean, Wendy. Wendy can take it, right? If I disagree with you. Lavender would look good. Who said the hot pink earlier? I thought that would look good. So many choices. But, well, maybe I would want to do the polka dots. I don't know. Okay, I shouldn't say until I'm ready to decide. All right, I hardly have any clean palettes, so I'm going to just offload a little bit here. Put more white on. Okay, so we're going to do the top part. I'm just going to go over. Ooh, that's very bright. What do you guys think? Is that too bright? Maybe a little bit? Wink, wink. Yes, you're cracking me up today, Wendy. All right, let me go over here and make it a little bit lighter. You could just pick a lighter yellow too, by the way. Let me just tap it on there because I feel like I've got a lot of paint on the brush. And I'm going to tap here all the way across. Once you get that first layer on underneath, all right, watch out for the Mr. Bunny rabbit. Stop, 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 right before the bunny. Mr. Bunny. Okay, this is complicated here because I've got this little R, the top of the R. I'm just tapping in there. Probably a smart person would go ahead and tape it down, but, you know, living dangerously here. Living life on the edge, right? And let's get that hot pink. I'm going to do hot pink because on the color wheel, red and yellow mix very nicely, and pink is just red with white in it. So I'm going to go ahead and I didn't wash my brush off. I'm just going to grab some of that, and I probably will turn it a little bit more peachy, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to just try this and see how it looks, okay? So I'm coming up into the bottom of this, and we'll try it. What's the worst that could happen? We don't like it, and then we can just paint over it. So really easy enough to fix and to work with. Okay, let's just take a peek. I'm not going to pull it off all the way. Ooh, do we love it? Okay, so take a look. What should I do for that? The bottom, the egg hunt. Man, would that be better? And I think purple, right? To fill in the egg hunt part with purple. Okay. I don't know if this is going to work with this brush, but I'm going to try to pull off most of this. I could just wash it too, you know. I could just wash it and not have to worry about this, but I'm just going to live life on the edge. Okay, purple. You know, I'm going to mix these two, this pink and this purple, and we're going to get a nice little lavender, hopefully. Well, let's see. Okay, if it's too dark, I'll just do it once again, but Right, holding this in place, or go ahead and tape it. I don't know. Let's see. That color is okay. I think it's okay. This is a little lower, so it might not be 100% covering. We'll see how it looks with that white showing. If I don't like it, I can always paint over it. And then we have to decide about the arrow. What color are we doing with the arrow? Is that going to be the blue? What do you think? I'm going to let that get cleaned up. All right, here's what we got now. Ooh, loving it. Or do I keep the, I'm going to pull this off. Do I just keep that white to pull in the rabbit? I think that's what I'm going to do. Or I can paint that bunny another color like the blue. Yes? What do you think? What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? A little, do I leave it white or blue? Do I go with the aqua? You know, I'm really tempted to do the aqua because that's like my favorite color, right? So yeah, we're doing the aqua. Okay, now I have to do the hard part of lining it up again. All I have to do is line up this arrow though. So there and there. Okay. All right, new stencil brush. This is why we get lots of stencil brushes, because when you do stenciling with a lot of color, if you put it in the water, you're not going to like the results. It's going to go under the stencil. It's going to bleed. So you need to get a clean brush every time, or do what I did where you get most of the paint off, but you don't want it to be dry because then your brush is going to get ruined. So it's sort of like this balance. But if you have a lot of brushes, it's super duper easy. All right, so let's go ahead, and I think the bunny's lined up too. So this is pastel overload here. If you're not a fan of pastels, you're not going to like this for sure, but hopefully you're enjoying it. And thank you for everybody who's come on and hanging out with me. I so appreciate it. All right, whiskers. Let's get those little whiskers. There's hardly any paint on here. I'm pushing fairly hard because I already have that one layer on there. And the smaller brush helps me get into these little areas. All right, let's see. I think we're almost done here. There we go. All right, so one thing I could still do is, that's good. I think we're good with the colors. I could put a little butterfly up here or something like that. What do you guys think I should do? Maybe I'll do something later. I can't do it right now, but I can go back and do. So Lori, I'm sorry I missed that, but we agree. The blue, right? And it's kind of fun. So if you have any ideas for up here, what should I do? Should I just leave it? Are we good? I don't know. What do you think? Okay, is it good? Maybe we need just the cleanness, right? The cleanness of the sky without too much stuff going on, because then we might detract from the bunny. So I think maybe it's done. All right. So Kim, it is so nice to see you too. I used to work with Kim too. Oh my gosh. And then she became an art teacher too. Well, she was always an artist, but now she's an art teacher too. So it is so nice to see everybody. And thanks for popping on. I love seeing you. And yeah, we're just going to call it. I'll probably play with these eggs a little bit because they're a little wonky looking, but we'll get there. So have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for saying hi. And if you need stencils, Essential Stencil is great, and you can go to their site and use my code, and that will save you a little coffee money. All right, take care. Bye.